Hey guys, this is Sergeant Phoenix back in the action, and today we're going to start the new our chapters again with dueling lessons. Previously, I did lessons on the basics, tributes, summons, spells, and traps. So today we're going to learn lessons on fusion summoning. Fusion. Well, since I left a comment down saying which you would all prefer me to use, but since there hasn't been any comments, so I'm doing the basics. Heads and tails. Heads, tails, the winner gets the winner I choose. Tails. This one. Either way it would work, but I'm going to do dueling episodes with hopefully with other players to give you some ideas of how it works. The tip is on dueling, they are the purple cards. I can give you like this one, Five-Headed Dragon. A level 12 Dark Fusion monster with 5,000 attack and defense. But to summon a fusion, you need a fusion card. The main basic one everybody knows is, if I can show you my deck, it's somewhere here. Polymerization. But there are some monsters which can actually use, like H&G Hunting Hound in the H&G deck. I can use once per turn. I can use monsters like that one and other H&G monsters from my deck and my hand, and my field to fusion summon a H&G monster. So if I hold it, so let's say since I have another fusion monster, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. That needs, if you read it properly, on the very top it says Dark Fusion Monsters, Dark Attribute Monsters on the field except tokens, but it only says Dark Monsters, but Dark Monsters usually mean Dark Attributes. That's why if you on the next lesson I'll teach you also, when we learn Synchro Summoning, about Dark Synchros. So let's say on the field I had Mystic Tomato and Pitch Black Werewolf. And it's still that, and on my turn, if I wanted to, because with certain duelists they do rely on fusion summoning. So let's say I have these two on the field. From my hand, I could either play it face down to save it for later, or I could just keep it in my hand. So I could say I activate Polymerization. So when I fuse, they go to the graveyard, and then I special summon my fusion monster. But when it's fusion, you can either have it in face up, attack or defense. Attack, defense. You can't play it face down unless something like a trap card makes you play it in face down defense, like Quake and Mirror Force. So I can play that, and then Starving Venom's effect would activate if it's possible. So let's say my opponent controls a fusion monster as well. When this card gets fusion summoned, I can target that monster, and this card gains its powers, aka effects, and attack points. Then I can send it to attack him, and then he'd take 2,800 damage. Since it gained its attack points, it'll have 2,800 more than the opponent's monster. That's how I choose to remember it when it comes to gaining attack points. When you just damage them, just make them lose 2,800 attack, 2,800 life points. So that was pretty much the basics. But however, this needs to be on the field. You can use ones in your hand, but it depends on what they are. Five-Headed Dragon though, which I have, I rarely get to play it out because of its effects. The needing to summon it. With this one, I need 5 dragons on the field or in my hand. So if I want to summon this out, I have to make sure I've got enough dragons out on the field or in my hand to play it. Then play a fusion card, and then summon it. But I added in, I don't think it's in this one, but in one of my decks, when I was first building the Five-Headed Dragon into a deck, I use the card known as Future Fusion. So I can send 5 dragons from my deck to the graveyard. So I show my opponent this card. And then it would reveal... Oh no, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes, alright, that's insane. And then I reveal it to my opponent, send the 5 dragons from my deck to the graveyard, then wait, and I keep Future Fusion on the field for 2 turns, and on the second turn, it's on the field, it special summons it. Some cards like these are really hard to summon because of the effects, but this isn't the most powerful fusion, there are more powerful ones. You know, I can't name all of them. But it's a good card to have, in case you want to build a deck of dragons, like I have. I have got dragons in this, but not a lot. You know, the most dragons I do have are in the extra deck. My synchros, Xyz, and fusions that are mostly dragon types. You know, so in case my opponent trapped me in a corner and I couldn't use them, like they negated all their effects, they can't attack, I can just play Polymerization, use them, get rid of them all, and summon this out to make it easier. Do you get? If you understand what I'm saying, it's kind of like a cheap shot of having a backup plan. Some people might say. And I'll also teach you something else which I forgot to mention in the last one: changing battle positions for not any monsters. So let's say I summon this out on my last turn. On my next turn, if my opponent has a monster, let's say has 2,000 more attack points, and this only has 1,000, I can switch it to defense mode and just end my turn. Or you could just, any of you want to just play spell or traps face down to defend yourself. There are though good cards you can use, like Dark Resignator, like once per turn it can't be destroyed in battle. Twin Shield, I think. Can't remember the one you say Furo has. It's the twice per turn it can't be destroyed in battle. I can't remember the name of it. Twin Shield Wing, I think it is. Which is a good card to have if you want to keep defences. But I'll also teach you, while we've got some time left, about... Where is it? Just trying to find the spell. The ritual spell. Because that's what this topic will be now. Ritual summoning. How did it come to just vanished? There you go. These ones are what you'll need to summon. Rituals are the blue ones, but they can't be summoned normally like normal. And they have to be special summoned by effect, by certain conditions. So you'd need the ritual spell card, which you can tell it is because it has a fire symbol. And it usually says ritual a lot of the time. So for this one, this card's what text says. This card is used to ritual summon relinquish, which this is. You must also tribute a monster from your hand or field whose level is 1 or more. So let's say I had, let's see what I got, a level 2. I activate Black Illusion Ritual, so I get rid of it to summon Relinquish. Relinquish is a card everyone's using today because it's a pretty good one. Because once per turn you can equip one of your opponent's monsters on it, and equipping is like this. So let's say my opponent, let's find a monster. This is my opponent's monster right there. I can equip it so it goes in the spell or trap card zone. And this card would gain its attack and defense because of its effect. Equip spells like traps and spells. There are spells that can give you attack and defense or decrease them, so you could use them on your opponent's monsters. But a lot of equip ones are like traps. They're mostly used to stop your opponents and damage them, which I do. They are good cards to have when used rightly. But Relinquish is a good card to use against your opponents. But I'm going to try and have some, like I've said before in the beginning of the video, I'm going to try and have some duels with other people who are willing volunteers to show, just to give you some like tips and ideas on what moves and strategies you can make with the different cards. And this is fusion, so the next one we'll be doing are synchros. And synchros I actually like. I have a competition between them, and you can tell from the t-shirt if you know what this t-shirt style is. But this is shorter, so if you know what it means, you'll get it. Why I do like synchro summoning. So on one of the duels, I'm going to try using my Ancient Gear deck as a fusion battle. So because I do know someone who does like using a lot of fusion decks, so I can use this fusion deck against his, just to give you like tips and ideas of what you can do against your opponent, really. Ancient Gears are good, but they're not like pure Pro Master anymore. And for those of you who don't know what Ancient Gears are, you would have, if you're around our age, if you're just like a newbie just learning about them, some duelists don't hear about Ancient Gears anymore, and I just flimming ripped this. Because you read about, if you're a pro, the beginning pros, years when the game first started, Ancient Gears would have been played by everyone, because they were really good back then. They're still good because when they made the series Art V, I call it, they made new supports for Ancient Gears, which I like, and it's why I've now used Ancient Gears. I had a deck of Ancient Gears before, but a friend of mine was getting rid of his deck of Ancient Gears, so I asked him if I could take it, and I tricked out mine with the latest ones and got an upgrade. I've won a lot of duels though with them. I even beat a Raid Raptor deck, which are Xyz based monsters. But I will talk about Xyz on the other videos. So, choose. I have an Officer Trudge's Pursuit deck and this deck for synchros. So you choose which one you want. So this is Sergeant Phoenix over now. Remember, you've only got 3 days until the next lesson. So choose which deck you want. Please comment, subscribe. This is Sergeant Phoenix over and out.